كلامي أريد أن أقدم حديثا الذي قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم، أو أقول الذي جاء من فم أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه حول ما قال الأستاذ الدكتور. عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال: أخذت عن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم جرباء علمي، أما أحدهما فقد بذثته، وأما الآخر لو قلت منه كلمة واحدة لقطعت عاصي الحكومة قبل أن أتمها. وفي حديث أخرى يقول رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم: لما خلوت مع ربي أوحي إلي 3 علوم، علم أخذ العد مني بكتمانه، وعلم أمرني بتبليغه لخواص أمتي. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, may the peace of Allah be upon His noble Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his companions, the generality of all Muslims, to the day of judgment. May the peace of Allah be upon our Sheikh Ahmad Al-Tijani, his vice regent Maulana Sheikh Al-Haji Ibrahim Yas. Brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I just want to do the synopsis of what our father has said as regards Sufism, and he made mention of 2 kinds of knowledge, which is al-ilmu wal-ma'rifa. In the hadith of Abu Hurairah, he said, أخذت عن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم جرباء علمي. I acquired from Prophet Muhammad صلى الله عليه وسلم 2 pots of knowledge. أما أحدهما فقد بلغته. One of the knowledge has been spread, that is, people know it, which is the knowledge of Syria. وأما الآخر لو قلت منه كلمة واحدة لقطعت عاصي الحكومة قبل أن أتمها. For the second knowledge, if I intend to say anything about it, it will cut my neck. That means Sufism has been in existence during the time of Prophet Muhammad. In the other hadith narrated by Tabarani, the Prophet said, لما خلوت مع ربي أوحي إلي 3 علوم. When I was in seclusion with Almighty Allah, 3 kinds of knowledge were revealed to me. علم أخذ العهد مني بكتمانه. One out of the knowledge, Almighty Allah commanded me not to reveal it to anybody. وعلم أمرني بتبليغ خواص أمتي. The second knowledge, Almighty Allah commanded me to reveal it to some certain people among my ummah, which is ilm al-haqiqah. وعلم أمرني بتبليغه لخواص والعوام. And the third knowledge, he commanded me to reveal it to the generality of all Muslims. One of the poets says, إني لأكتم من علم جواهره كي لا يرى الحق ذو جال فيفتننا ورب الجوار علم لا أبوه به لكيل لي حتى ممن يعبد الوثن. هذا ما قاله سيدنا علي بن زين العابدين. He says, إني لأكتم من علم جواهره. I always keep the trail knowledge I acquire. كي لا يرى الحق ذو جال فيفتننا. So that an ignorant will now see a knowledge and be disturbing us about it, which is what the knowledge of Sufism. ورب الجوار العلم لا أبوه به لكيل لي أنت مما يعبد الوثن. Countless of knowledge I acquired, if I intend to utter it, people will count me among the idol worshippers. So that is ilmu lazimiji, which is ilmu marifa. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Jazakumullahu khairan. May Allah continue to increase your knowledge, inshallah. Beloved brothers and sisters here seated, I think let us have it a bind that inshallah we have to at least look for something as hadith of welcoming our beloved Shaykh Professor. He never loved to be attributed with the word Shaykh, but I'm sorry, sir. You are the original Shaykh. And as far as I'm concerned, I think you are not the one who calls yourself, but people are the ones that choose to call you. May Allah be with you. So whatever we have, because he has a lot of things that he's going to give to us. I'm very sure he will. These things we want from him are so enormous to mention. At first, we want this kind of gathering to be going this way. It will go a very long way. As you have seen us here, Sheikh Abdul Hakim Abdul Rahman al-Nahwi, for instance, he is a PhD student about to finish from Bali State University. He has a madrasa called Nasr al-Ala at Yanabaya here today. So he has a lot of descendants of the followers. That is, this speech that he has just delivered. If I start reciting, reading the citation of each and everyone, look at our Sheikh just seated beside him, as if there is nothing. He is the world himself, a world. I'm talking, not world, sir. I'm talking of world. So it is a very serious thing. You have imparted knowledge to a large number of congregations. May Allah be with you. So you have a lot of work to do. All this will be going on so that we keep the ball rolling. But despite that, we have to just put forth a very little thing that we have. There is nothing we can give to you that will be okay. But however, we just have to signify by doing something. Our chairmen and our guests here seated, we have to do two things, sir. The first thing is just to welcome our Shaykh. And at the same time, we are going to gather at least little thing that will be so significant to continue the program in the subsequent ones. So I'm just going to point at you because I'm not going to disturb anybody. It's not a kind of disturbance because we still have to have at least reactions more and more. You seated here, our fathers, the guests, you will have experienced a lot of things as well as regards Sufism and the madness of some certain Sufism. And thank God that we have a Shaykh who is totally different from those that we're talking about. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. It is that knowledge that, differentiates him from others. And many more that we are having that are so good. Sir, how much from you? I'm sorry, sir, you have not allowed me to do that, but let me just do it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Our beloved Shaykh, we know him for that. He is starting it. Kabirullah. $100. MashaAllah. MashaAllah. In this year, I have not touched it. Kabirullah. I have not touched it. I know I have a privilege over other people here. So some people will not touch it till the end of the year. Alhamdulillah. Okay. You bankers. You know how it's doing. Okay, we have $100 here by our Sheikh, Maulana Sheikh Abdul-Razak Mubashir Waliyullah Aafaakallau. Sir, our beloved Sheikh, our beloved father said 20,000 naira. Okay, our father said. Our father said 20,000 naira. 20,000 naira. I'm very sure. Don't let us make it Ankara, If you solve it. I don't know how to explain that in English language. There are some certain words that English language cannot convey. You can see. Okay. You see halves. National anthem, thank you. We have 60,000. Sir, 50,000. Okay, that's 110. I'll do something now. 110. Yes, sir. Please add them down to yours. Make it 120. Can you please, for Allah's sake? That is 120,000 naira. From our mothers here, I just say 50,000 naira. Making how much like that? 170. At least if we have 200, is okay. No, sorry, 250. 250. Because I know the minds of individuals. You see them now, they don't say 10,000. Because they believe the person coming after you, after her, they say 10,000. So they don't make 10,000 like that. Okay, we are going to 250,000. So you have 170 now. Wasu, and I just said Wasu. Making how much? 220. Okay, we are led by the two amounts. I'm very sure, unfortunately, Shaykhul Allah yukhlifuhu, or khairu raziqin. There is nothing you surely spend in the cause of Allah that Allah will not reward you. We thank Allah that this money we are spending is not that we are spending it for fun, for something that we will not be appreciated for. Maybe by buying blood, doing this and that. It is purposely because of Allah. Allah will reward you all. I like that you have 230 now, 230. It remains just only 20,000. 220, so okay, we are having 30,000 left. I like this. Okay. 250. Another 260. Okay, that's only about that. So we have 250,000 plus $100. Kabirullah. Kabirullah. This thing that has just happened here, if there to be somewhere else, you'll be hearing saying Allah after rolling all over the places for 3,000 naira. There is problem in this level. Maybe it's because we are stagnant like water. Thank God, I think we are done with that. So now we move to Uganda. Okay. Okay, thank you, sir. You see, the bankers have their ways of doing things. We are using a very big strategy now. No one never counts in the bank because they do cut 50 from our money. So I told you now that we should, there are some who still want to do. Please, if you have the intention of doing that, someone should do and have that on our behalf, inshallah. You can just go to. Okay, before we move, let's ask Sayyidah Maryam Nabi. Salas. Should you please come to the podium here? So then we move to our scholars, inshallah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد بن عبد الله وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Alhamdulillah, I'm so happy to be here today. My name is Maryam, inshallah. First of all, I want to appreciate our prof. Being here is a privilege. And what you just did today, the summary of what you just said today, a lot of us have been struggling with that information since birth. When you said 15 years, I am not 15 years old. I'm less than 30. So, you just gave me a summary of how you have lived your life from now to then. With these few minutes, I got an information. And that information is, how do I put it, is factual for me. Deserves no answer. Okay, before I proceed to give whatever I have to every one of us sitting here today, I would want you to, give me an expo code on, how to save people from greediness. We've been battling with this case. It's talk here in Nigeria, honestly. The societal values, the cultural problems, it's been tough for us. even to observe Salat, is a great job now here in Nigeria. So if you could give me an expo, like I said, to that, I think I would appreciate. And from now to hereafter, I will always take it as part of what I've got in my existence during this period. Now, sorry, I'm a girl, let me put it that way, so it looks somehow addressing shoes and feet, but it's a privilege. You should just look at me like this small girl, like you have a twins now here on the podium. One little thing I want to add to what our prof said to we here in Nigeria is just going to be a statement. Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 30, verse 44, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, he said, أَتْحَابِرُ النَّاسَ بِالْبِرِّ وَتَنْسَوْنَ أَنفُسَكُمْ وَأَنْتُمْ تَتْلُونَ الْكِتَابَ أَفَلَا. I want us to think about that particular verse. Each time when I find myself that you are telling us this to do this is not about the shuyukhs. It's about everybody seated here today. Even we mothers, we do it a lot. We tell mothers, we tell children, go and pray, and we don't do it. We tell people to fast, we don't do it. Shuyukhs would advise you to do something and they won't do it. It's time for Salah, no. They won't observe it. A lot of shady things like that. I wouldn't want to go in details, but I trust everybody knows what I'm trying to say. It is of those of us here today that we are asked to be good. You know that we are born to tell people to do things. That is the reason why we are existing. So why do we forget the reason, the purpose why we have been created? Why? We forget to do it. We forget, we are selfish to ourselves. But then so it looks somehow to me when I see that, okay, you do this, and you don't do it. Please, let's try as much as possible. When we preach being a Sufi, let's try to do it. Let's try to practice it. Let's try to do something. Let's try to lead by example. I pray Almighty Allah lead us through the path and guide us with Jazakallah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I've seen your daughter trying to talk ever since she got here. I never knew the mother is going to the one speech. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Thank you for that wonderful speech. Very brief but fully loaded. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to call on our beloved father, but we have to manage our time properly. Sheikh, I think Nuruddin Barcelona, want to have your own perception as regards what is going on.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Because of limited time, I will just say my contribution. All protocol duly observed. I spoke to Sheikh Abdul Rahman, my own perspective as regards our society in relation to Sufism. I told him we need a conference, that we need to present papers. Let people see the fruits in Sufism. We can have a mega conference from the length and the breadth of Nigeria. Let our scholars, he is a writer. Myself, I'm a researcher, a teacher, a social worker. Let's organize a conference where we can present papers and the communique, the magazines, and all that will be published. Something like this, we need it. I'm highly honored by Sheikh, as he used to call me my beloved. May Allah continue to strengthen you. Amen. A lot of money, I walk around here to rent just a small place like this in Ikeja. I know what it will cost him. And I know what I have told him when I came here, that you should have told me and we should have done something that will not cost you money, inshallah. And I know you trust me in that angle. So just in a nutshell, the economic hardship is also contributing to all these things you are seeing around us, the Sufism in Yoruba land. One of the problems is that the problem of self-interest, as you have mentioned, ego is part of it, and dogmatism is part of it. Economic hardship, we need funding. Please, all this I want it to be noted. Because you see some people, due to economic hardship, when they go sheikh, at the end of the day will be caught with the head, the skull of human being. What are you doing with it? And you say, I'm a Sufi, I'm a sheikh. So it's a stain in the Sufi community, particularly in Yoruba land. We need to go a long way. This is just a beginning, I believe. May Allah continue to strengthen you, Sheikh Aafaakallau, and our Prof, and those who are instrumental to organizing this program. May Allah bless us all. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
I just pray that this dream we are having comes true. Beloved brothers and sisters, permit me as well to invite to the podium here Sheikh Ahmed Imatullah. Sheikh Ahmed Imatullah. It is not within our power to give you specific time, but we'll be glad if we can just make it 1 or 2 minutes. Well, Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulullah. I actually cannot express how happy and delighted to be here. I have words, I can't even hold my breath. Being in the classroom, having Professor Rudiger before me, it is an historic moment in my life. There is this academia this, so I used to see a lot of your write-ups, and it was beyond my dream coming across your path. But alhamdulillah, masha Allah kana wa ma lam yasha lam yakun. Sheikh Aafaakallau, Eban Shedada, Anta fil Haqiqa Ibn al-Waqt. And this is how every Muslim should be, particularly every Sufist. If I have said this in his presence and also in his absence, that if we have just 3, 4, 5 Aafaakallau in motion, colors will be a toast to the world. People will forget all those, we are to this point in time, we have two categories of ulama. The ones who have knowledge but do not have ma'rifah, and the ones who have both knowledge and ma'rifah. Just this morning, one of my students came to me and he was saying this and saying that, and I told him point blank, Alhamdulillah, you went to the madrasa, you went to the university, you
are sound. But what about the Sudan? You see, the gap between the past and the present is the Sudan. The reason why we catch or some scholars are caught with human skulls this day is lack of the Sudan. And we can not only blame the present young stars. Don't blame them, don't heap all the blame on them. You will share the blame into two equal parts, equal, or let's say 70-30, 70 to the past levels. They know how to talk to Allah when they have issues in front of them, when they have problems. They talk to Allah and the problems get solved. But they train people like us without showing us the path. They give us only the zahir, the outer, the upper part, without taking us deep. Some of us deserve to go deep, even if not all of us. Yeah, but when I want you to remember a poem. من منح الجهال علما أضوعه ومن منع المستوجبين فقد ظلم. Téèyàn bá dìsáàbù ká fún un ní àṣírí, ẹ jẹ́ ká fún un. Gbogbo àwọn ọ̀dọ́ sí iná àrùgbó wa náà kọ́ la ẹ̀yàkúyà. Ẹsẹ̀ lẹ́tà wa dá ẹ̀yàkúyà. Kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ nàá wa. Ọlọ́run ò já ẹ̀yàkúyà. Because gbogbo tí máa ń mú ẹ̀yàkúyà, the road to becoming a very bad example. The road to becoming someone, any sensible person will see and stone the road before us are in multitudes. But the path to becoming a very serious person, troublesome, difficult, hard. So you, our shuyukhs, have a lot to do in that regard. You need to help us. And the society that we know, I would like to say one thing about what Prof.Dr.Rudiger said. He said, Al-ilmu wal-marifa. Marifa is experiencing, acquiring knowledge and experiencing marifa. To the youth, talking to us now, we should hold on to these two important themes, acquiring knowledge and experiencing marifa. Wassalamu alaikum. We appreciate that wonderful work. And to Sheikh Seeseman Sheikh Muddin Barsalam, he made mention of ensuring that this is done in a very big way. I think it's noted. And even Sheikh Aafaakallau mentioned that previously, that he intended to ensure that this is done in a very big way. We Allah continue to help you, sir. So the next thing, I think we have to just make it very, because today is Saturday. As we are enjoying ourselves, we might not know the timings. Not by our side. I recognize the entrance of our beloved mentor, Fadilatul Shaykh Abdul Bella. I call him the leader of those who eat sadaqah. There's no way in Lagos, even in Yoruba land, that you not find him. They are last your life for us. Now what we are moving to is that we want to have these very big plans again. Sheikh Suleiman, let me say 1 minute, sir, because I know it will result to 2 minutes.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ya jibus salai fala yantik lana sundik la ilaha illa salai wa namai. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. After appreciating Almighty Allah for the privilege and opportunity to be here and now, and beseeching Him for His unanimous benedictions upon the quintessence of creation, Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Isthmus, tested as this Mawlana Tijani, and the catalyst of the divine flood, Mawlana Shaykh Ibrahim Yasir, and all their worthy and deserving vice regents. I want to appreciate Sheikh Aafaakallau first and foremost. You guys have been saying that if I see you, there will be nothing for Ba'ala. Some of us have been craving and yearning for this kind of event. Alhamdulillah, it has materialized today. May Almighty Allah reward you. كما قال الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم أن من قال جزاك الله خيرا فقد أبلغ الشكر. Now, by the same token, I want to appreciate mentor Prof.Dr.Rudiger, Seeseman. It is only Almighty Allah that can reward you. I will only ask Allah for a favor before asking you, sir, for another one. When the verse اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم وأتممت عليكم نعمتي ورضيت لكم الإسلام دينا, when it was revealed, many of the Sahaba were rejoicing. But Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Abbas was reported to have started crying, and he was asked, what is the problem? He said, it means Rasulullah is leaving us. And that is what that verse means to him. That you may be rejoicing that Islam is not perfect, yes, but the moment Islam becomes perfect, what is there left for him to do? I therefore want to beseech Almighty Allah to grant you both and others like you, sir, long, healthy, happy, successful, fulfilling, rewarding lives. Amen. So that you'll be able to replicate yourselves, and then it starts to be easier to do. Secondly, I want to seek from Prof. I want to extract a promise that anytime we want to disturb him like this, yes, we might want to take it for granted that he will come, but I still want to extract that promise, knowing fully well how busy his itinerary can be. Not just that, but there should be like exchange programs where we have scholars coming in from outside. We also have diamonds in the rough here. People who are, I don't want to use the time, but I have to, wasting away share raw talents, the risk of the opportunities to showcase to the world what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has placed in them. You have the opportunity to make them sing to the world. Lastly, I want to encourage each and every one of us that we need to start somewhere. Those who knew our father who gave birth to Sheikh Aafaakallau will not be surprised with the kind of things that are coming from the stables of Sheikh Abdul-Razak. So I'll end it on this note that مَدَامَتُ الشَّمْسَ يُسْرُ عِيشَةً رَغَدًا فلا تزال كريما عبد الرزاق. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
جزاكم الله كل الخير. Alhamdulillah, this gathering itself filled with several talents. I've been looking at our Shaykh ever since I sat beside him all day. I knew he had a lot of things in him. May Allah continue to be with you. And if you help me by you see the size of dying people, you'll be blaming yourself. The money, the allowance we have received so far, Al-Hajj Ibrahim Sadami, 50,000, thank you. Al-Hajj Sunday, Arini, 30,000 naira. Abdul Fattah, Al-Hajj Abdul Fattah Muhammad, I think 30,000 naira. They wrote 3,000, but I'm very sure it's between 30. If they want to write 30, there's no purpose of 3,000 here ever since we started the program. Alhamdulillah. Now before we have the rest of the program, I know human being. Human being at times they appreciate by clapping. If care is not taken, they will destroy a whole building. Yeah, that is all the truth. You can see the buildings that we are going to. Ever since I met him Aafaakallau, he doesn't like disturbing others. He would rather help than imposing on you or giving you a problem. And the kind of a being that you never say no if you watch him very well. You rather keep quiet and move away from that particular thing than say no. It is usually difficult for him to say no. Therefore, I'm thinking that wallahi, Allah is my mind. I even have money today. Wallahi, billahi, I will donate 1 million for this program. And I'm using this garden to pray. But I don't want to be a beggar to the end of my life. That is what I want to be. I will tell my students. That is why I will not appreciate a student doing rubbish. Because you can see the local madaris now. We have a lot of yahoos and perpetrators of evils. And those who are clapping for them are the asatiza. They will not come to madrasa and they will have their way. So problems is even in the mosque, in the churches, and all over the places. Now what I'm praying for is that Allah will Allah should not make me a beggar. But for the fact that I don't have, I think I've played my role. The one I have here, I've played it now. You can see. So for those that have, I want to appeal to you. Please, let's do something to signify that we want this program to continue. This is the time for that. I think you can have 1 million here. Even the person doesn't have, you can just pledge that inshallah, I'm going to give you this so amount. And I'm very sure, if you have belief in the Lord that you worship, it is His promise that Allah had made. That in the Quran, He even said, because He knew the ones He had created, He said, وَلَا تَيَمَّمُوا الْخَبِيثَ مِنْهُ تُنْفِقُونَهُ وَلَسْتُمْ بِآخِذِيهِ إِلَّا تُؤْمِنُوا فِيهِ. Do not spend the rubbish of what you have for Allah. You yourself, if Allah had given you such that you are giving back to Him, will you be pleased with that? That is what we have to do for us. Please let's do what we want to do. I'm going to go another one again. If you can have 100,000. This one does not leave Otumba. It does not leave Otumba, out of the game. Now we want to have at least 1 million. Be working. Oh Allah, if you provide for me, I'm going to do the life of this thing, inshallah. Let's have it. Can I start calling? Sir, hello? 50. Can you change it? So our young people, they have one tradition. They may even be calling you, I like the 50 when you are going out. Despite the fact that it's money that you are spending. I know them very well. Opportunity ò ní fi ilé kò sí ní gbàgbé yín. Orí tó ṣe fún yóò máa ṣe sí ọ̀pọ̀ àwẹ̀ ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ fọlọ́. Ebi ò ní nǹkan bọ̀ tó mọ̀ kí mo lọ́lọ́. Ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ fọlọ́. Ẹgbẹ́ ọlọ́gbọ̀bí. Alájú sẹ́ni is giving out 100. Ọba tó ní yóò ní jẹ ẹ̀rá rẹ̀. Pẹ̀lú òkú ọlọ́pọ̀lọ́ ló ṣe ṣe mu. Ọtí wọn kò talk. I'm very sure you are not going to obstruct me from collecting money from you, sir. Okay, sir. We have brought minds together, but however we are still going. Probably 400,000 be 200. Maybe nítorí tọba tó ní kí mo wà dáadáa. Ọlọ́run gbà láfíà lára òun ló sì fún mi ní tó fún mi. Ó lágbára kí mi ló máa jẹ́ alágbàfọ̀ lónìí. Kí máa lọ fọṣọ kí máa ṣerú àwọn ẹnìkan. Òun ló yọ mí tó ṣàánú mi. Tani ó ṣàánú Ọlọ́run lára jókòó yìí. Bísímìlà. Ẹ má jẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ kí ẹ tó ṣe tọ́lọ́. Alájà mi èrò. Alájà tó ní 50,000 naira. Ó ní 150. Ẹgbẹ́ wọn tóbi. Sáà. This language is somehow very deep. This one that we're speaking. I think you have to switch back to English. Okay, sir. So 150. inshallah. Now? Yes, the same account now. So we are having 250,000 now. Okay. Alaja said 30,000 naira. How much now? 280,000. Okay. My beloved mother that gave us 50,000 the other time was looking at me that you have to mention me now. Don't you want me to enter paradise? You are going to enter tipa. Alaja. Allahu Akbar. I've seen a wife that always rubbish the husband whatever they do. When the husband spend 100,000, he will say 2,000 naira. Wallahi, it got to a day that the husband cried. Seriously. He used to embarrass the husband. Alaga, how much? No, you talk now. I talk now. Let's stop. Everything. Yeah, Laja. Should I mention something? 100,000. Okay, 50. Let's make it 50. 50 is okay. Is that okay by you? Like be a lot to me. One has here times 10. 50 times 10. I want that. All of the guys are women law. Over here, we know now. Yes. 100,000. Take your law. I satis your Tia 1 million. Tí o sì mi lọ bí tí yóò dá sí kò ní sọmọ fún iṣẹ́. Àti gbogbo ìdúrà ṣàmì fún wa. You can see that cannot be translated into English. It is very difficult. So if I want to explain that now, how do I explain it? It is only Sheikh that can do that. The last day of life for all. Now, we have how much now? 780,000. Okay. Please let's move ahead. 780. I just have closing. Alaji, I shouldn't mention my name. He said 50,000 naira. Please, the account should be going the account number, inshallah. And those who promise, inshallah. Okay. That's how much now? 830. October. Let's have your voice now. Let's have your voice. Because I know how people. Wallahi. They will talk and they kill that program. They now lead to the hand of the person who will do. So we have to just at least try our possible. Hello, how much? October said 100,000 naira. Kabirullah. Okay, now we're having how much now? 930. Okay, we are having some talent. 10,000. I have 10,000. 20,000. Ashir Abdulwahid Abdelawi. MashaAllah. He is one of the prominent MC. As far as Lagos is concerned, they have eaten. I said 10,000 naira. Please, I have seen one scholar who made promise too. And till this moment, the scholar has never seen anything. All his shoes, they were destroyed on the way of trying to collect the money. Please, allow you help us, inshallah. Please, let's make it very snappy and let's ensure those who want to do it now should please have the account number and do what they want to do. Now, permit ladies and gentlemen to call to the podium to speak as regards the topic. Sheikh Ahmed Tijani ليس باستطاعتنا أن نحدد لفضيلتكم الوقت، لكن يكون لسرورنا ويسرنا بكثير لو قضيتم دقيقة واحدة ولو أضفتم من تلقائكم دقيقة أخرى. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا من تشاء اخبر بنا بهذا المحضر وتاتي بنظرة تاتي لنا بالزفر
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. I don't have much to say. I'm a student in front of all the presenters here. I'm the professor. You're highly welcome to our country, and we always appreciate your efforts in the divine flow of Sheikh Ibrahim Niyaz. May Allah continue to bless you for us and give you long life and prosperity. And again, I'm the host, Sheikh Abdul-Razak, and we also appreciate you. The two words from the Holy Prophet is okay for you. Like the Prophet said, خيركم من تعلم القرآن وعلمه وخيركم أنفعكم للناس. These two things is okay for you. جزاكم الله خيرا عن الفائدة كل خير. Now my contribution is just about we that are present here today. We should all look into the advice from the professor, majorly about Sheikh Ibrahim said that as-Sufi huwa ibn al-Waqti. What does it mean? And how did Sheikh Ibrahim radiallahu ta'ala anhu was once an ibn al-Waqt? We all know the saqafat of Sheikh Ibrahim, how he spread the faidah to the whole world by traveling and by spreading the knowledge of Islam and the sunnatic of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And again, the Prophet also said that Ibn al-Waqti, and we also have 15 al-Waqt. And Sheikh Ibrahim said that Nisa'una rijalun wa rijaluna jibalun. This means that our women, how did they become men? Is because of their struggle in the deen and the struggle in the faidah. And mostly our women used to emulate the mother of the Islam, which is Sayyidah Khadija. We all know the efforts of her in Islam and the support for the Holy Prophet ﷺ. And also, lastly, with the sheikhs here, like our sheikhs here and our fathers, we should all try by all means to prepare our murids very well, because Sheikh Ibrahim, what did he brought, and what did Sheikh Tijani said that he is going to bring is the faidah, and the faidah is the kasratul fatih for the murid. So we should all have the jazb of the tariq, which is the marifah of the tariqah, and also the suluk of the tariqah, which all is about the knowledge and the marifah of the faidah. Please, I am not an understanding person very much, but I think our fathers here and our sheikhs here, they understand what the professor actually meant. So I believe we are all going to work towards it, inshallah. And Sheikh Ibrahim said that ومرة أخرى ترون الأجب من فيض الختم إمام النجبة. So this is all in line with Al-Ibn al-Waqti. We should not be stagnant, we should keep moving as the world keeps moving, inshallah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Now, I think the last but not least, what we want to have now is also a kind of conclusive award we got. But before, afterwards, we're going to have our professor. Just, I think we want to react a little bit to this. And how Sunday Adini, he also wants to say something as regards what is upcoming. Bismillah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you, Professor, for coming all the way from Germany to come and give us this mouth-watering lectures. And when I watched your program on Facebook and you were trying to say that you are in, I could see that you are becoming more Nigerian, more African. And by the way, with the way I saw you twisting the agbada, so I think I'm convinced that you are home. Thank you for coming. So I want to appreciate our Sheikh Aafaakallau for giving this very feed at this appropriate time, because this is the very appropriate time. And I want to, it's very unfortunate, so to speak, that he has left our Sheikh Darussalam Nuruddin. So he made mention of something very critical, where he mentioned that this is actually what we need in a contemporary society where, especially in this part of the world, you see people, I mean, the social media has actually done more damage to Tariqa Tijaniya than it's done more blessing. People who you thought they are so blessed with really, they come to display the knowledge, but at the end of the day, you see that it's knowledge without marifa. And I'm so glad that you are able to bifurcate that. So what the Sheikh said, that what we actually need is a forum of this nature. And I think, yeah, it's very appropriate at this point in time. And I want to say that I think we can metamorphose what we already have. I mean, accidentally we have an annual colloquium for Sheikh Aafaakallau, Sheikh Abdul-Razak, which we celebrate to mark his birthday. I think we started 2 years ago. I don't know if we can metamorphose that into, a gathering where we can actually discuss things like this, and with your permission, maybe the organizers. So we already have a platform, and I think we can go. So I have one question, Prof, if you don't mind, and this is very critical to me as we were talking. I was actually putting down stuff. In my little journey of academic, I've seen a lot of discussion, like you said, in Africa history, Islamic history, and a lot of that. And I've also learned that what we call modern civilization actually started with Islam, the algebra, the science, and all of these things. So my question is, having read all this literature, the European literature, the American literature, and all of that, how were you able to decipher and actually now separate falsehood from reality, that today you are now propagating the reality? And the twin question is, having done that, you didn't tell us the other part of the kind of resistance from the Europeans, from the Americans. I mean, what are the confrontations based on what? Because it's very hard for you to see you are coming from Europe, and not just Europe, you are coming from Germany, and you know what that means to Africans.
Yes.
And you are also now propagating Islam, and not just Islam, you are a champion of Sufism. So these are actually very contradictory, and having got you here, it should be very good for us to learn the kind of resistance you've seen and how you've been able to navigate your way. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi. Now over to Prof. Prof, sir, you are not given time. Actually, there is road all over the places, or we can have you as many as you can just, you have the ground, sir. You have the ground, sir. Bismillah. Marhaban. هناك تساؤلات كثيرة تنتظر إجابتك.
بسم الله. شكرا جزيلا على هذه الملاحظات. I'm very grateful for all these comments and the valuable insights. And as I said, I consider myself more a student and someone who lectures you. I wanted to share with you my experience, and listening to you and to your remarks. It occurred to me that I forgot to mention one very important thing. I was focusing on knowledge in terms of al-ilm and al-marifa. I spoke about adab. But what Sufism is, first and foremost, is a practice. And Sufism is only alive when we practice it. And I think this is actually what brought me to Islam in the first place. That I encountered people who were practicing Sufis, who had internalized Sufi values and Sufi knowledge. Because Sufism, for me, it is not now something like an eloquent scholarly elaboration that I'm giving. I was never trained in this. But Sufism is about proper adab, mal-khalq wal-haq. And I started my research, I told you when I was younger. I was not a Muslim, and I traveled to all these places. And I met Sufis who welcomed me, regardless of whether I was a Muslim or not, or an African or a white person. So the treatment I received as a white non-Muslim by Sufis, that taught me a lot about Sufi practice and Sufi values and Sufi adab. This is actually what attracted me after a long period of time, to see how they interacted with me. And this is something that also needs to be cultivated. You can also lose it. You need to be constantly on the watch out. This is, I think, what is also described as al-muraqaba in Sufism. It's one of the stages. You have to observe yourself and make sure that you are on the right track, and you can lose the right track. And there are challenges. And I came across some sort of poetic lines there as follows in Arabic. كان التصوف حالا فصار مالا وقال استتارا فصار اشتهارا وكان احتسابا فصار اكتسابا وكان اتباعا للسلف فصار اتباعا للعلف. So this means Sufism used to be about hal, about the spiritual state, and it came to be about mal, about money. Sufism used to be about secrecy, istitaran, about being hidden, and it has become something to boast about. Sufism used to be about ihtisab, about reckoning himself or oneself in view of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it became ihtisab, it became something to make one's life. And Sufism was itba'an lil salaf, to follow the salaf. Sufism is to follow the salaf. Radiallahu anhum ajma'in. But it came to be something that people use to buy their food. So this is, I heard this in Sudan. Of course it is a way to describe the dangers that you see, that Sufism can go wrong. Sufism can be used by people for the wrong purposes. So Sufism as a practice means to constantly stay on the path and constantly be aware of the adab with al-khalq wal-haq. And this adab that I experienced as a white non-Muslim is actually what convinced me of the value and the truth of Sufism. And just like for me, being here, I mean, there's nobody here in this room whom I've met before. Even Sheikh Aafaakallau, I met him the first time today. But being here, seeing you and hearing you makes me feel at home. It makes me feel understood, and I feel you understand me. It makes me feel a brotherhood, even though we are from different cultures and a different background. But this is what brought us together, and this is actually a ni'mah, this is a blessing, this is a gift that is so valuable from God. Wa ashkurullah. I can't even express my gratitude for this, but this is what I found most amazing, and this is, I think, the task ahead, to stay in this practice and stay on this path. And there was earlier this question about greed or greediness, and this is exactly what we try to do, to be aware of this challenge and stick to actually also stick to khidma and mahabba. And the khidma I've seen in this room just now earlier, and the readiness to give, and the love, the mahabba. This is actually what we have to cultivate, and what will actually help us to build a contemporary Sufi community. This is what I wanted to say in the end, and this is actually also my answer to the last question about how I navigate and how I also sort of function in the context where I live and work. I'm trying to be guided by these principles of adab mal khalq wal haq and mahabba, and that is what sustains me. Jazakumullahu khairan. I'm really so grateful, and atala la baqa Aafaakallau. Assalamu alaikum.
Marhaban, we appreciate the result for that wonderful and brief explanation. I think it's time to have vote of thanks. Whatever should come forward to the podium here to give us the vote of thanks. I'm sorry that we are asking you to at least be very economic with our time. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. While I stand on the existing protocol, say a very big thank you to our professor. It's nice having you around. And personally, I would like to have a copy of that 50 years book. Yeah, I need to read it.
It's sold out.
Sold out.
Oh,
If you have a soft copy, because of copyright, when it's printed, we'll get a copy through our sheikh. Thank you so much. And I'm very sure a lot of us here would like to have a copy of it. So I can promise you, if you send to Nigeria, you sell more of it. I also appreciate everyone here today, especially our sheikh. And I don't know what to say. If Aafaakallau, our sheikh, on his own can singularly handle this, not about the money alone, the logistics. I saw a chart yesterday. Your entry pass for tomorrow is 8 or something. I said, does this man sleep at all? He's not handling this on his own alone. It doesn't cause any one of us to eat. If he can do this, I'm not really I can never throw the challenge to him, but I know he can do a bigger one. And my fear is that our coming generations, we here, we understood Sufism to a large extent. Wallahi, I'm in fear for our generations. The reason is this: almost all of us here, we can testify to it. Search yourself. The way we are being brought up, is that the way we are training our kids now? In our days, after school, Ileke or mosque, these days now, they are full up with school assignments, lessons, social media, and everything. And on this social media, they meet with Sufis antagonists. So how do we now cuddle it? How do we now tackle it? How will my generation understand Sufism?
If not for all this type of gathering, how will they understand it?
How do they have knowledge about it? I suggest when next we are doing this, let's go live with all social medias. Let our enemies too see it. You know, when you are on Facebook,
It's live. This one is live.
I know it's live on YouTube. I said in all social medias, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whatever. You know, when they two are there, they both they are listening to us, that notify you they are saying their own. When we are doing our own, to let them see it. So I enjoy us to join us together to see that we sustain this for our tomorrow. I want to say a very big thank you to all of us who has made it out of our tight schedule to be here. Only Allah can reward us.
This is very, very laudable for us, and I am relieved with the outcome in terms of financial outcome, in terms of people are watching it live as well. So I want to say a very big thank you to every one of us. Lastly, I go back to our professor and I say, Jazakumullah khairan kaseeran. I got my capital, sir.
Now, alhamdulillah, now to the closing prayer. Our Father will be leading us in this. It looks as if we should continue, but driving towards the Kenya area, I may be misled because I'm not used to this area, and likewise other people who are here seated. We are so glad for having you around. Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to invite to the podium to give us closing prayer our Father, Sheikh Shigini, who is to give us the closing prayer. Your last day is my fault. Allah was silent, whoever hasn't been talking to you.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم الحمد لله رب العالمين الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا ورسولنا محمد بن عبد الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم آمين. Your question?
Era porque ele baba wa nínú sọ̀rọ̀ tí àwọn aṣọ pàtẹ ẹ̀dá mo fi Mọ̀lánà bàbá wa Nàìjíríà gbà kò fi bẹ̀yìn mo fi bàbá wa Mọ̀lánà Sheikh bàbá wa Jara gbà kò fi bẹ̀yìn mo bàbá wa lọ́wọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ kò fi bẹ̀yìn tíra tí àwọn afá wa kó wa síjọ pé brought the book here all the way from I think maybe a day or thereabouts and he wrote the book. You see a lot of scholars that are so substantial for today. They can't fight against simply because the cost of publishing is too much for them. I think we have to just appreciate him with the little. Actually, we wanted to sell the book 1,000 naira. But as for me, I didn't even have money. I would have said, okay, I give 5,000, I give you. But, however, about Aafaakallau, but what will you give to him in that regard? Just wait, I thought you want to simply pay everything I want. Is the right answer. But is the right rights. In the تعليف لكن صراحة التعليف هنا الذي ألف عندنا في نيجيريا هو بنفسه يعرضه للبيع.
مولانا الشيخ Aafaakallau وانا ورا وانا ورا طب هذا هو إجازة ورا سيبوك إجازة ورا صار إلى نقول أبغى مولانا الشيخ أبغى ورا سنة تطاولنا ولا ورا تطاولنا إيش الموضوع؟
I don't know the content.
Yes, it's about the soul. And the second one I think is Otumbawana 2000. Hanwari 2000. Maulana Sheikh Aafaakallau 10,000 Kumara. Shigini 2000 Kumara. Mashallah. Entonces, era por ello, ya un tabacara o fabata. Oya, ala jawa 1,000 o was. Our sheikh wa 1,000 o fabata. Our sir wa 1,000. To eshuga. Ala jawa 1,000. الله يبارك فيك. صار في فرق بين الوضوء.
الحمد لله رب العالمين. أفرد جدا ما تلاقي من
We thank Almighty Allah. Before I remind everything of this prayer, I'd like to thank our professor. I just have one or two things to say. We came to Nigeria. Nigeria as a country was being blessed and was being unified because the work of the Sheikh as-Salaf, منهم الشيخ عثمان بن فودي وما شبهه من العلماء. All these people who work together, it is the work that these people done that the British made to introduce indirect rule. That is why indirect rule was also in the north, because Islam is there, Sufism was there. So therefore, till today, Nigeria still remain one through the effort of this shuyukh. So by that, we thank very much. And also, I would like to implore our Sheikh, Sheikh Aafaakallau. He has done a lot. One of God said, when many ulamas today in Nigeria, there are two, I don't know how I can call them, there are two center, parochial in interest. How many ulama can spend such amount of money as done by Sheikh? Most of them, they have the money, but they can't spend it in the way of Almighty Allah. Even those who are living with billions of naira in their banks, they say, no. But this thing, Sufism, I want to say, if you know it very well, you can ever taste poverty. Let me ask you, where is the man of Seeseman ibn Fodi? Sheikh Ibrahim Niyas. All of them, they are in billions. Because they have the will to come. I use 10 million, Allah will pay for me. But today, we are many with knowledge. Quran is there with sound, everything. It does not work for us. So, but Sufism, as my brother said, let everybody go back home. Most of the Sufism home, we are no more there today. We are Sufism by mouth. And look at Sheikh Aafaakallau. Because ethical value is out in Islamic knowledge. Ethics is no more there. And that moral value is no more there. Spiritual value is no more there. So you can see a man from Germany, he came across Islam. He know Islam, he embraced Islam through the way of Sufism, through manner, ethical value, spiritual value. You can see him so gladly say, I'm a Muslim and belong to another say, and you know them, knowing fully well Sufism like you. So you have done a lot and a lot of research. So Almighty Allah, I believe that by next time we are still going to expand this program more, to inspire more scholars to present papers. That paper should become up to become a textbook for the incoming generations, because Sufism, we have a problem in Nigeria to solve. More especially among youth, the coming youth, Sufism is no more there. Only knowledge. That's it. But Quran when they enter mosque, he saw sahab. One of them is that inni uallimuka azam ayat bil Quran. The question I asked, that Sahaba knew Quran before. You have to teach him the ethical value, the intrinsic value in the Quran. Azam ayat al-Kursi. By that, so may Allah Ta'ala be with us. Sheikh Aafaakallau, inna aafaakallau jazahan wa kana sayyukum mashkur. So Almighty Allah, we hand over everything unto Almighty Allah. When I say a millionaire, you're a millionaire. When I say a billionaire, you're a billionaire. Because there's a beginner and there's a beginner in the nafs. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbana تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك التواب الرحيم ووفقنا لما تحب يا رب العالمين. اللهم هذا الدعاء ومنك الإجابة فيجوز منا وعليك تكلان ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. الفاتحة. صلاة الفاتح. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد الفاتح لما أغلق والخاتم لما سبق ناصر الحق بالحق والهادي إلى صراطك المستقيم وعلى آله حق قدره ومقداره العظيم. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين الحمد لله رب العالمين. شكرا لك كريم.
ẹjọ́ gbogbo àti àṣàdéhùn ẹ̀dá kòtòrò ọlọ́run ẹ jẹ́ kí á mú àdéhùn wa ṣe ọlọ́run wà pẹ̀lú wa o ọlọ́run jẹ́ kí ẹ̀mí owó kan á máa bẹ pẹ̀lú dáadáa láhọ́rọ́ ọ̀la àbúrò
Chile.